channel members, I'm going to show you the fastest way to fish. And I'm going to do a time lapse of 1 hour to see if it's even worth the profit here. So let me get my my timer on the screen. Let me get this just fixed real quick. I know, I should have hit record until I did it. Alright, so let me go over the build real quick while I do this. And what I want you to do is wear a similar set. That's right, Tier 8 fishing, Tier 8 fishing pole, Tier 8 fishing journal. We have a Tier 6 broadsword with iron will. And then we have an astral Aegis. And the Aegis is purely there for damage reduction if we get ganked. So all you do is you go out to Brazilian, and you go out to the red zone in Brazilian. And the reason why is that no one comes out here. It's dead as hell. Maybe on Europe it might be a little more populated. But here, like, you can see ganker counts, you know, in the bottom right. You have multiple exits. You have 1, 2, 3, back to town, 4, 5 different escape routes. So it's very easy to escape a ganker. You have a Brazilian cape, which when you activate your boots, it, let's see, yeah, no, when you cast your head slot spell, which would be defense here, or you can do cleanse. I'm going to do cleanse. So you would cleanse yourself of CCs. This gives you a shield. You can't be purged. Then you Wanderlust away, and before that shield runs out, you also cast Iron Will, giving you more move speed, and you can't be purged. So you have a double can't be purged. We're invisible, so we can scout the area before we decide to fish. And you can always return to town and get re-invis to reposition yourself if there's gankers on the map. So what I'm going to do now is I also have a Tier 6 Ox. This is really hard to dismount solo. And there's not going to be groups of gankers out here, maybe 2, and they won't be super geared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat the pork pie. I'm going to hit log out so I unshield myself and get the silence rolling. I'm going to eat the pork pie, which does work with fishing, by the way. And we have an invis potion. We have invis on our jacket. We're super safe, right? As long as we're paying attention. So I'm going to eat the pork pie and start the timer, and let's begin. Well, the silver per hour sucked, so I'm making the video public. Oops, sorry members. Maybe I'll make something useful next time. But this one didn't turn out so great. Anyway, some fishing tips. Now, as soon as you finish catching a fish, you can right-click to cancel the animation of you holding up, you know, going wahoo and doing a little dance. So you can fish way more efficiently, way more faster with this method. Also, once you fish out all the fish in one of these little fishing circles in the water, you can continue fishing there for a little bit, and the more you fish, the more you'll be able to tell whenever it's emptied out, because once you've fished all the fish in that area, you're going to eventually, you know, in your little fishing mini game, when you try to reel the fish in, it won't struggle, and when you stop reeling it in, it won't detract on the progress, and when you're trying to reel it in, it will be really slow, like for you to progress or fail. That means that you've hooked a log or a rough stone, and you just cancel fishing and go to the next fishing hole. And so, yeah, basically we're fishing until we complete a Tier 8 journal, which normally takes me about 45 minutes when I'm doing this, but in today's video, I think I did it in 37 minutes, I believe. And so that's a new record for me. That's actually a new record to fill the damn journal up. And the rest of the video after we fish is talking about the silver per hour rates. I compare it to 4 months ago when I made this exact same video. You know, doing this exact same thing with very similar gear. I think I used dual swords as the build, and I didn't use Brazilian cape. I used undead cape for the triple invis. You know, not that you would need that many invises, but hey, it is what it is. I like this build a little bit better because it's tankier, it's harder to dismount, it's harder to DPS down, and you have more options for escape anyway, so it's whatever. Now, I know that there's always people out there, oh, you should fish in the Avalonian roads. Bro, like, Brazilian is the same exact fish as the roads, and the roads are way more dangerous, for one. And also, like, people are like, well, you should go fish on a coast in a Tier 8 zone. It's like, no. Gankers will destroy you. They love it when people fish there because it's just free loot for them. It's such a long-ass ride away, and there's so many other people that fish in Tier 8 black zones that there's almost no fishing holes. Everything's picked clean. The rate at which you catch Tier 8 fish is so low, it's not worth the risk. Like, I'm risking 1.1 million in gear right now, but it's not much of a risk, and You know, like, because no one comes out here. There's no transports to gank out here, so red zone gank groups don't generally ever come out to Brazilian, right? So it's like the safest red zone stuff in the game, though it's a really crappy red zone with crappy mobs, crappy resources. There's really no reason to ever come out here except for, well, fishing. If you really want to fish in the red zone, you can also fish in the underway in Caerleon. That's technically a red zone, and there's guards, but they're like, if gankers see you, they'll just pile up 10 of people, and then they'll just run at you invisible and gank you, and then they'll just disperse and wait for Outlaw to drop, and then go back to Caerleon. Whereas here in the red zone, gankers don't really come out here. Now, I'm running from a ganker at the moment, and I'm going to go bank the fish, which is why I paused the timer. So there we go, we banked the fish. We're going to a different zone. There's 3 red zones in Brazilian outside. One of them is a yellow zone, and then we just, I start the timer back up after eating a second pork pie, because they only last 30 minutes. And, yeah, and then we just continue fishing until that journal fills. And, yeah, so that's basically what we did here. It's pretty simple stuff. I only failed the fishing minigame a few times, so I could have maybe done this 1 minute faster. Whoop-de-doo, right? But, you know, I give it a little bit of leeway. You'll see the math in a bit. It's not that great. It's you're better off just gathering in a blue zone. Not fishing, but just general gathering. Okay, fishing in this game sucks. The reason why it sucks is because the bots ruined it. There's so many bots, and that's why the economy for fish actually suck. It should be the best gathering, but it's not. It's the worst. All right, so we have filled the journal. Now, you may be wondering, why am I not going a full hour? And I only went 36 minutes. 36 minutes is actually really fast to fill a damn journal. And the reason why is we have to calculate fishing per hour rates a little bit different. And you'll notice at some point I paused the timer. That's because I was going back to town to bank. And there was a ganker in the area, and he was on my screen, so I just up and left. And I was running out of fishing spots anyway. But you can see in 36 minutes of continuous fishing, right? That's how long it took to fill the journal. We'll say like 37 minutes. So what I have to do now is figure out how many times this goes into a number until we have a clean amount of hours. And in 36 minutes, we earned 482k. We would have earned more with premium, but we don't have premium. And you fill the journals the same rate with or without premium. It does not matter. So let me do a little bit of math here, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here's the best way that I could do the math on the hourly rate of fishing without premium, of course. So if we made 482,000 in 37 minutes, well, that goes into 185 minutes, well, 5 times. So that and that's the closest hour that I could get to. That's 3 hours and 5 minutes, right? With a 5-minute leeway, as in, you know, if you manage to fill the journal a few minutes faster or a few minutes slower, there you go, whatever. So 482,000 times 5 is 2.4 million divided by 3, as in 3 hours. Means that we're only farming 803.3 thousand silver per hour, which ain't that great because the set that I used to do this is worth $1 million, and then you know, it's 1.1 million risk, and if we're only making 800k an hour, and it sucks. It's really bad. I don't like it. Now, here's the thing. I made this same video like 4 months ago. Here's what it looks like. And you can see in this video, it took 44 minutes to fill the journal, earning 550k. And, yeah, so fish bots suck. Now, this video was also without premium. I don't see the premium icon in the top right, so there you go. Oh, and that 550k, that includes the fishing pole. So you can see 550k in the video, and then for me, 596k. So I made 46k more in less time, either because I'm fishing faster, more efficiently. I don't know what it is. Just got luckier, I suppose. You know, the fish were really biting this morning. But the rate is still the same. It's like 800k an hour. It's just, it sucks. It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. It's not worth all the bullshit and the hassle. Just gather something else than fishing. Anyway, the silver per hour sucks, so I'm just gonna make this public, and yeah, you know, if regular Joes wanna go out into the red zone and risk $1 million fishing, then we can gank them. I'll make a members only video on how to gank the fisherman in Brazilian, but I doubt they will. I doubt, people will watch this and be like, ew, that sucks, and they'll just gather stone in a blue zone or gather hide in a blue zone, because why would you? Why would you fish, ever? For any reason. It cramps your hand, you can't watch anime while you do it. It sucks. Fishing sucks! I'm sick of fishing sucking. Every time I check fishing to see if it's any good, it sucks. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you so much. Leave a like, leave a comment, click the video on the right side of your screen, or it'll be dark sooner than normal outside. Ooh, spooky.